My dear child, welcome to Lord Empowerment Channel. The origins of Black people can be traced back to the African continent, where the earliest modern humans, Homo sapiens, first emerged and evolved over 300,000 years ago. Archaeological and genetic evidence strongly supports Africa as the cradle of humanity, with the oldest known fossils of anatomically modern humans discovered on the continent. Over the course of thousands of years, diverse populations and cultures developed across the vast and geographically diverse African landmass. This gave rise to the rich ethnic, linguistic, and cultural diversity found among Black people today. Some of the earliest known indigenous groups include the San, Khoi, and Pygmy peoples, who have inhabited parts of Africa for millennia and developed unique ways of life adapted to their environments. As human populations expanded and migrated within Africa, new ethnic groups and civilizations emerged, such as the Nubians, Ethiopians, Berbers, and numerous sub-Saharan African societies. These groups made significant contributions to the development of agriculture, metallurgy, architecture, and complex socio-political systems long before the arrival of Europeans on the continent. A major turning point in the history of Black people was the transatlantic slave trade, which began in the 16th century. Millions of Africans were forcibly displaced from their homelands and transported to the Americas, where they and their descendants experienced the horrors of slavery and institutionalized racism. This traumatic event had profound and lasting impacts on the cultural, social, and political experiences of people of African descent in the diaspora. While there is no single, unified Black identity, people of African descent share a common ancestral legacy that has shaped the history, cultures, and societies of the global community. Ongoing research and scholarship continues to shed light on the complex and diverse origins of Black populations around the world, from the earliest hominid species to the present day. For example, recent genetic studies have revealed fascinating insights into the deep population history of Africa. Researchers have identified distinct ancestral lineages, population movements, and admixture events that occurred over thousands of years, leading to the incredible diversity seen among Africans and their descendants today. Furthermore, archaeological discoveries have uncovered evidence of advanced civilizations and technological achievements in ancient Africa that challenge Eurocentric historical narratives. The ancient kingdoms of Ghana, Mali, Songhai, Kush, and others demonstrate the rich cultural and political development of the continent long before European colonization. It is important to recognize that the term Black is itself a social construct, used to broadly categorize people with African ancestral origins. However, the lived experiences of those identified as Black can vary greatly depending on factors such as nationality, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, and personal identity. Celebrating this diversity and rejecting essentialist notions of Blackness is crucial for gaining a nuanced understanding of the origins and experiences of people of African descent. The origins of Black people are deeply rooted in the vast and ancient history of the African continent. From the earliest hominid species to the diverse cultures and civilizations that have flourished over millennia, the story of Black people is one of resilience, innovation, and the ongoing struggle for equality and self-determination in the face of oppression and marginalization. Continued research, education, and dialogue are essential for honoring this complex and multifaceted heritage. The archaeological and genetic evidence surrounding the origins of modern humans in Africa. The oldest known fossils of anatomically modern Homo sapiens have been found in locations such as Jebel Irhoud in Morocco, dated to around 300,000 years ago. These early humans were likely part of a diverse population spread across the African continent, with genetic studies suggesting a common ancestral origin in East Africa. Over the course of tens of thousands of years, these ancestral populations diversified and adapted to the varying environments and ecological niches of the African landmass. This led to the emergence of distinct ethnic groups, each with their own unique cultural practices, languages, and physical characteristics. Some of the most well-known and studied indigenous African populations include the San people of southern Africa, the Khoikhoi of the Cape region, the Pygmy groups of Central Africa, and the Maasai of East Africa, among many others. It's important to note that the term "black" is a broad and often problematic categorization that fails to capture the incredible diversity within African and African-descended populations. Differences in skin tone, facial features, hair texture, and other physical characteristics can vary significantly even within the same ethnic or national groups. Additionally, cultural practices, belief systems, and social structures have evolved in unique ways across the continent, defying simplistic generalizations. One of the most significant events in the history of Black people was the transatlantic slave trade, which began in the 16th century and continued for several centuries. During this period, an estimated 12 million Africans were forcibly transported to the Americas, where they and their descendants were subjected to the horrors of slavery and institutionalized racism. This traumatic experience had a profound impact on the cultural, social, and political development of African-descended populations in the diaspora. Despite the immense challenges faced by enslaved Africans and their descendants, they have made countless contributions to the cultural, economic, and political fabric of the societies in which they have lived. From the development of unique musical and artistic traditions to pioneering advancements in science, technology, and civil rights, the legacy of Black people is woven throughout the history of the modern world. Ongoing research and scholarship continue to shed light on the complex and multifaceted origins of Black people, challenging long-held assumptions and narratives. For example, recent genetic studies have revealed the existence of distinct ancestral lineages within Africa, as well as evidence of significant population movements and admixture events over thousands of years. This has led to a more nuanced understanding of the complex demographic history of the continent and its diverse inhabitants. Similarly, archaeological discoveries have uncovered evidence of advanced civilizations and technological achievements in ancient Africa that challenge Eurocentric historical narratives. The ancient kingdoms of Ghana, Mali, Songhai, Kush, and others demonstrate the rich cultural and political development of the continent long before European colonization. In conclusion, the origins of Black people are deeply rooted in the vast and ancient history of the African continent. From the earliest hominid species to the diverse cultures and civilizations that have flourished over millennia, the story of Black people is one of resilience, innovation, and the ongoing struggle for equality and self-determination in the face of oppression and marginalization. Continued research, education, and dialogue are essential for honoring this complex and multifaceted heritage.